Hey, welcome back to the Daily Dave. It's Dave with you. I hope you're doing well. I just wanted to drop in and talk a little bit about how we, you and I, and all the podcasters out there, how we can make podcasting better. And no, I'm not here to give you a sponsorship or money for your podcast, but I'm thinking there's something that we can all do together to make podcasting grow. And it's a simple little thing. At your next event, family event, you're going to hang out and do stuff during the summertime coming up, or you're in the office, it's lunch break, you're all hanging out in the lunchroom. You're at the hockey game or a sporting event with all the friends in your row. Pose this question to the group around you. How many people here listen to a podcast? And look at the reaction. From the dumbfounded looks on their face of what the heck is a podcast to the, oh my gosh, I love podcasts. Look at the faces and look at the reactions of those around you. And for those that don't know what a podcast is, show them how to subscribe to a podcast. Now, of course, you'd want them to subscribe to yours, right? Yes. And I'd love for you to subscribe to the How to Podcast series so you can hear my show. That would be nice of you. Thank you. But imagine if we all the podcasters out there with a show or thinking of starting a show, could help somebody who has not a sweet clue what a podcast is. If we could just kind of hold their phone for a second and say, okay, see, go to this app store, click on, just type in podcast. All these apps pop up. Just pick one. Give them your favorite. For me, I listen on Spotify because I'm a musician and I go there for my music. So it makes sense just to stay there. And for me, it's a great listening experience. I have a membership. So I'm okay with Spotify. I like it. And I just listen to podcasts. I don't skip through. I don't go super fast. 2x the speed. I don't do all that junk. I just listen to a podcast the way it's recorded because the host did it that way for a reason. So that's how I listen to podcasts. And I put my phone in my pocket. So I'm not looking at show notes. I'm not doing any of that stuff. I'm just listening because I love the host. So for me, that's how I listen. So show them how to find an app on their phone if they don't have it, an Apple device and it's already preloaded on their phone. For the Android users in the world, show them how to find an app. Open the app for them. Explain to them that podcast listening is free, because people hear the idea of subscribing to a show. They equate that to subscribing to Netflix or subscribing to my cable company, the cable TV, and there's a cost every month for that. Alleviate that worry and let them know that podcasting is free and it's free to them as the user. And then pull up the app and then ask them, what is your favorite movie? What is your favorite musician? What is your favorite hobby? Who's your favorite author? And then do a search within the app and show them all the podcasts that come up for the thing that they love to do. And show them how easy it is to click on one of those podcasts. And I know it might not be yours, but pick on one of those podcasts. And they love horses, so you pick the horse podcast. And there's like dozens and dozens of horse podcasts. Pick one that you think looks good from the artwork and click on it and show them how to click the little button that says follow, subscribe, whatever it says on the screen. And explain to them how when a new episode comes out, it'll go into a folder, show them where the folder is, and say, here's all your new episodes. So every time that the host releases an episode, you don't have to do anything. Just go to this folder and go play through the podcasts that are there waiting for you. If all of us as podcasters spent time doing that and educating people who don't listen to podcasts, imagine how we as a group could grow podcasting to benefit all of us. it would be amazing to kind of help each other grow podcasting as a group. That would be one of the best things that we all could do for podcasting, is just help people who have no idea what a podcast is and teach them and show them, especially if technology's not their friend, show them exactly what to do to get podcasts on their device. By doing this, I think we're going to see some really good growth. And it's our opportunity to share our passion for what we do. And then show them your show while you have their phone in the hand. Show them what you're doing and let them know, hey, if you want to listen to my show, great. But I think as all of us get together and help everyone learn podcasting, it's going to help everyone. So what do you think? Is your hands up in the air? Do you think you can help people learn and add podcasting to their life? It'd be interesting to see the results if all of us as podcasters did this. Because as we promote the industry of podcasting, it would be interesting to kind of see how things are growing. It's interesting. I'm just doing a quick Google search while we're chatting. 95% of boomers don't listen to podcasts. That's interesting. Nearly half of Americans never listen to podcasts, says another one. Some people say they don't really need to listen to podcasts. So imagine if we could be the ones that turn that number around and bring more people to podcasting. I think it's going to benefit all of us. So that's my challenge for you this week, is when you find yourself in a social setting with family, friends, co-workers, whatever, ask if you can introduce that person to their very first podcast. And by doing this, I think we're going to help all of us grow. And if you need help with your podcast, if you need help and you need another set of ears, you want to just chat about your show, the idea of your new podcast, you're looking to pick a name, you need help setting up a website, you want to know what an RSS feed is because you have no clue, you want to get your podcast on YouTube to benefit your listening audience so people can find you better. Hey, I can help you with all of these things. I do editing for all of my shows. This music that you're hearing, yeah, that music. I put music beds into podcasting. There's so many things I can do to help you with your show. Intros, outros, voiceovers. And I think the biggest thing that I want to do for you is promote your show. So by coming on the How to Podcast series as a co-host, my audience gets to hear about you, and we get to promote your show and grow as podcasters. Lots of great stuff happening here at the How to Podcast series. Another reminder for you is I do a podcast review. And in the podcast review, what I do is I ask you to make a donation to a charity in your local community or something that means something special to you as a form of payment for my time. You donate to a charity. You tell me what the charity is. We'll promote it in an episode here on the How to Podcast series. We'll talk about the charity that you love. And then we'll go through your podcast. We'll talk about the intro, the outro. We'll talk about the content. We'll talk about your website. And I'll give you some feedback on your show. And we can do this together. Or I can do it for you. But the one thing I promise you is you're not going to get blindsided with a review that you haven't heard yet. I give you the review first. You get to hear my thoughts and respond. Maybe I missed something. Maybe there's some clarification that needs to happen. I want you to hear it first before we send it out into the world as a review of your show. because I want it to be meaningful for you and give you value. So where other people will knock you down or say things that might hurt you, they might review your podcast without you even knowing and blindside you with some pretty negative comments. I want to come to you as a fellow podcaster and help, as a coach, not a judge. So if that sounds interesting to you and you just want me to listen to your show, send me a link to the episode that you want me to listen to, and we'll go through the process together and review your show. But sometimes it just helps to have someone else listen and go, am I on the right path? Is this working? And I'd love to give you that kind of feedback and that kind of help. Because you know what's happening? You're giving me that same feedback for my show. Through my SpeakPipe on howtopodcast.ca, I'm getting voice messages, I'm getting emails from listeners from around the world, and it means so much to me to hear from you. And I'm going to keep asking because it's a beauty for me to have interaction with you. It's beautiful. I love it. And I would love to hear from you listening to the show. It means a lot. So I'll give you feedback. You give me feedback. Let's work together and let's grow our show so that we can reach the world. And remember, this week, ask somebody around you if you can show them the joy of podcasts and share your joy for what you do with those around you. That's your homework. I hope you're going to sign up for this. Thanks for listening to The Daily Dave. howtopodcast.ca. We'll see you over there. Get out there and podcast. Take care.